Maybe you lost your job and the coverage that went along with it, or maybe you're retiring and you want to look at Cover California versus Cobra. What are the options out there available to you? We have helped thousands of people analyze these different options, especially in Cover California. We can take the 25 plus years experience and make this super easy and fast for you. In this video, we're going to look specifically at options available to you if you've lost employer coverage. Let's dive right into the video. First, if you're losing employer coverage, you usually have a Cobra option. Cobra is essentially a continuation of your prior plan that you're going to pay for yourself. You have a 60-day window generally from either the time they tell you in the letter to the last date of group coverage. Let's say your coverage ended on May 31st. Then you essentially have June and July to elect Cobra retroactive back to June 1st. So 2-month window back to the last date of coverage. You have to pay the whole period. You can't piecemeal and say, oh, I want to start the last month or 30 days out. You have to pay all the way back. And here's the issue. Cobra is usually really expensive. Every now and then we'll come across a situation where a large company where it's cheap and we're like, look, that's the way you should go. You can't beat that. But usually Cobra is very expensive. And so people get that letter and they're like, okay, what can I do? The big option out there right now is Covered California if you're in California. Covered California is essentially buying your own individual family plan. Covered California essentially takes care of two pieces that are separate from the policy itself. They address a subsidy, which means an amount of money that's going to go towards your health plan to reduce the monthly costs right away. And there are going to be richer versions of plans on Covered California depending on your income. And now, starting in 2025, the Silver 73 is available to everybody. It's essentially a gold plan. There's no reason to go richer than the Silver 73. Reach out to us. We can send you the benefit summary of that and even the rates for that plan. But you may also want to look at a bronze. Those are the two main plans people go with now through Cover California. So, Cover California versus Cobra, what are the big differences? There are two real big differences. One is pricing, and we talked a little bit about that. The pricing for Cover California is dictated by your income estimate for this year. And we can help you with that piece because it gets complicated, especially if you're in flux. If you're losing coverage, retiring, your income's probably changing. We don't care about last year. We want to know this year's income estimate, the AGI on the 1040 tax form for next April. Again, we can help you massage this because it's complicated for a lot of people. It's household, everyone that files together on a 1040 tax form, even if not enrolling. And then the other big difference is network. The doctors we have access to. Individual family plans through Covered California or direct, they have smaller networks than what's available through an employer. So you may have had a Blue Shield PPO plan through your employer. That network is going to be different than Blue Shield PPO through Covered California. And if you go off exchange, you can get the exact same plans, not as rich as Covered California, with no subsidy, but the networks are identical. So there's no reason to go off exchange anymore. So pricing, network, we can help you individually for your situation. Now let's talk a little bit about how and when to make these changes. All right, so a lot of people get confused about when they can apply for Cover California. Now, there's an open enrollment that most people have heard about from November 1st, usually through January 31st. Check with us. But if you're losing employer coverage, that gives you a special enrollment trigger. You can do it anytime during the year as long as we don't lapse more than 2 months, 60 days. So if our employer coverage ends on May 31st, we have June and July to enroll in Cover California. Now, a key point is the effective date is always going to be the first of the month following enrollment. It's not like Cobra where it'll go retroactive back. So if May 31st is our last date of employer coverage and we don't submit an application until July 1st, we're not going to get until August 1st as an effective date. It's always the first of the month after when we enroll. So keep that in mind. If you're losing employer coverage, ideally you apply for Cover California prior to the last date of the group health plan. And again, we can help you with this process. It doesn't mean you can't enroll later. And here's a little secret. Let's say our last date of coverage was May 31st and we're into June. Ooh, what do we do about June? I don't want to let Cobra, it's too expensive. I can't get Cover California until July 1st. Know that you always have Cobra as a backup in your pocket. If something happens that's big health-wise during the month of June, you would just elect Cobra retroactive for June, knowing that Cover California will start July 1st. Another key point, if you start Cobra, we've lost that special enrollment trigger for Cover California. We have to wait until open enrollment to get on board. So reach out to us before that happens so we can go through the options, pricing, networks, so we don't lose that option to get Cover California or elect Cobra. Let's make sure we have one of those two options enacted. Outside of that, there's not much out there. If we've lost both our Cobra and our Cover California window, there are other plans. They're kind of like short-term plans we can use in California. They're not our first choice, especially since we can get subsidies, and especially if we can get the richer silver plan. That's going to be our better bet. We're happy to show you all the options and walk through that with you. But just know you have Cobra, you have Cover California, a 2-month window from when you're losing coverage for both. Ideally, one will go retroactive back. The other will start the first of the month following. Let's look at rates for your situation. We just need zip codes, dates of birth, and your best estimate for this year's income. The Cover California application can be tricky. If you answer a couple of questions wrong there, it will throw you into Medi-Cal or it will say you're not eligible. Our cost is zero to help you with this process. We've helped thousands of people enroll and compare their Cobra versus Cover California. Just the zip code, dates of birth, income estimate. We can run that for you. Let's see what the options are. If you stuck around this long, thank you. We appreciate it. You probably have more questions. Reach out to us. There's zero cost for assistance. You can call, email, chat, or best yet, book a time and we can go through your personal situation to address any questions regarding California health insurance. Because a lot of sources out there are nationwide and California is really unique. We need to go through the specifics of your situation in your area to find the best options. We don't push. We don't try to sell anything. We answer questions. And if you look at our Google reviews, you'll see that reflected in how we deal with this. We're happy to help. Reach out to us and do us a big favor. If you could like and subscribe below, that's fantastic so we can keep bringing this information to California.